good, everybody? It's just your neighborhood angler, MoneyBass, out here about to do this thing we call Bass for Cash. Now, I get out here on a weekly basis, kind of come out here, enjoy the day, see how many fish we can get to the boat. Maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. You know, guys, you know the routine. I'm out here for a good time, not a long time. So we'll see how many fish we can get to the boat. As I get those fish to the boat, all that you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel, all right? Now, I know you saw the title of the video. There is currently $100 up for grabs that is in the pot for Bass for Cash. Now, if you want a little piece of that, all you have to do, remember, is be a subscriber to the channel, guess the exact weight of the fish, and bam, just like that, you might have a little bit of cash heading your way. So we're going to get out here, have some fun with it. We're going to stick with the game plan that we've been doing for the past few, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to do some shallow water cranking. We're just going to cover some water, see what you guys want to talk about in the chat. And that's about it. Like I said, we're out here for a good time, not a long time. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. And for anybody that was asking in the chat, I've been putting out a few clips because you guys always ask me what type of boat am I rolling in. I want to give a big shout out to FishXLive.com and also SWAT Lawn Operations, one of the original sponsors of Bass for Cash. All right, guys, so here we go. I'm rolling in a Nitro Z20. All right, and back here on the back, this is being pushed by a Mercury 4-stroke, 250 horsepower Pro XS motor, all right? And I also have 2 shallow water talons on the back. Those are shallow water anchors. What they do, these 2 things right here, guys, what those do is shoot a spike down into the bottom of the lake. And as long as I'm in 10 foot or less of water, it will hold the boat in place. So that's the purpose of those. All right, want to give a quick shout out to everybody that has already checked in. I see Chauncey Davis. What's going on? Good to see you. We have the Masked Bass Tid tuning in. And also Rogers Family and Outdoor Adventures. All right, guys. So we're gonna roll out to the next spot. Make sure you get active in the chat. And if you have not already hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here we go, guys. If you can hear me okay and everything looks good, drop a 1 in the chat for me, all right? If you guys could, just drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay and everything looks good and we are about to get rolling. What's going on, Ray Love? We have Chef Boy tuning in. And like I told you guys, we're gonna go with some shallow water cranking. I changed out the bait that I was using. So we're gonna go with something that has a little more of a natural color to it. We're gonna try that out for today for a little while and see how that works out, all right? All right, appreciate that. Now, what we're gonna be doing is starting at the mouth of the cove, and we're just gonna fish all the way around. So I'm just gonna be moving and covering water. We're gonna see if we can fish this entire cove out. And so what I would need you guys to do for me is sometimes when I start getting into the backs of these coves, the signal starts going out a little bit. So if it does, you guys just let me know if the signal starts getting kind of choppy or something like that. And what I'll do is just kind of move to I'll kind of get out of that area so that way the video stays good for you guys. All right, so go ahead and get everything set up. Shout out to Whipstick Fishing. Oh yeah, what's going on, Whipstick? I'm gonna see if anybody wants any cash today. We're gonna try to give away a quick $40 bill or maybe a $20 bill, just depends. Shout out to the money team. Look at Morgan. Morgan came right in and said, hey man, I know this is only your second cast, but have you caught anything yet? Good to have you tuning in, Morgan. I have not caught anything yet. I think this is my third cast of the day. We're just getting started. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. What's going on, Jody? Jody says, last break at work. Might as well spend it with the money team. Shout out to the money team. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Chef Boy says, Unk money on the water. Oh, so I reached Unk status now, right? Somebody said that the other day. Like, hey, man, I think you reached Unk status. So, yeah, we're just going to be out here moving. You guys see, so this is a 6:8 to 1 gear ratio reel. You kind of see how fast I'm moving it. So these fish, sometimes people will see me, how fast I'm reeling this in. And they'll be like, hey, man, you need to slow it down a little bit. But listen, I cannot reel faster than these spotted bass can swim. And the fish that they normally chase after are some very fast moving fish. All right. So we're going to be good. Jody says crappie are biting here in San Diego. All right. They are really big. Oh, my goodness. I've been seeing some people out there catching those huge crappie. I mean, it's kind of making me want to try it out a little bit, too. Chef Boy says, yeah, you said you've been fishing longer than my whole lifespan. You're Unk to me. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. All right, so we're coming up on some. So the water level is up. I remember when these trees were actually out of the water, but now they're kind of hanging over into the water now, giving some shaded areas, which seems like it would be a good ambush point for some fish to kind of hang out at. Jody says, Uncle MoneyBass. Oh, goodness. All right, I brought that through some underwater laydowns down there. I felt it bumping through there. A lot of times once I feel it ticking off of stuff is when a fish will come along and grab it. But nothing that time. Let's go ahead and get one more cast over there. What's going on, Ashton? We are out here at Lake Lanier once again, Lake Lanier, Georgia. I know you guys have seen me bouncing around, fishing Lake Oconee, Lake Sinclair, Lake Hartwell, Lake Lanier. What was the other lake I fished so far this year was Lake Harding. So this is a nice little transition area right here going into the back of this cove. So maybe something to be on this point heading back into this cove. We'll see. We'll see. What's going on, City Man? City Man says, how is the bite today? Well, we are just getting started. I don't even think we've been fishing for a full 10 minutes yet. I think we've been out here for maybe about 5 minutes, guys. But we're going to see. We're going to see what we can find for today. What does the day have in store for us? And of course, we are doing this thing that we call Bass for Cash. Remember, all that you have to do to participate is be a subscriber to the channel. That is it. It does not cost a thing. All you have to do is subscribe. Once I get a fish to the boat, we will go into subscriber only mode. All right. And that is when we will open the scales and let you guys put your guesses into the chat and see if we can walk away with a little bit of money for that pocket. Chef Boy says money will catch a 3-pounder when I catch this nap. Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for you to fall asleep, Chef Boy. As soon as you fall asleep, you hear me screaming about something getting popped in the mouthpiece, and maybe that'll wake you up. Whipstick says that does not look like that Spro rock crawler. So this is the one of the ones that I got from that expo, those custom painted ones that I was telling you guys that I was looking for. I needed one that had a more of a natural color to it. So that is the one that I picked up, has more of that natural colors to it. Coming through some grass over there. City Man says, I say a 3 or 4 pounder in the next few minutes. All right, we're gonna see if we can make it happen. Adventures on Planet V says the first one is gonna be a 3-4. Does anybody remember the weight of the fish that we caught last time? Nobody won any cash for those bass on the last one. Nobody guessed the correct weight. And we were thinking maybe you guys just didn't want the money. Maybe that was it. Let's go ahead and just spot lock right here for a quick second. Now this water, we're sitting in 11 feet of water. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you can actually see the bottom of the lake from right here. Sitting in about 10 feet of water. Maskoff said, that's because I wasn't there. Maskoff saying if he was there, he would have took everybody's money. City Man says, love the crankbait in the spring and fall. Oh yeah, the crankbait will do some wonderful things. Let's make one more cast over there. Then I'm gonna go towards the back of this cove right here. And one of the things I want to throw instead of that shaky head is a Nico rig or wacky rig. So we'll see what we have down there on the deck already. But you guys know that I love the time of year when those fish start getting ready for that top water bite. How did this get wrapped around on here? All right, put that back over there. All right, so yeah, we're gonna roll with a wacky rig for the day. Ashley said, Money tried cheating and still got it. Oh, so you saw when I got DQ'd. You saw when Alexandria DQ'd me on the last Bass for Cash. She was like, I know what you're doing. She was like, I saw it. All right, so let's put some smell good on here. little something on there to get the attention of those fish out there. What's going on, James Larry? Good to see you back in the chat. Ooh, that was not straight. We have Kevin Two Fishes tuning into the chat. Good to see you, sir. Have you been back out on the water lately? All right, it does not appear as though that top is going back on there straight. All right, so when is the next time you're going to head back out to the lake? And when is that tournament? When are you guys having your first tournament? All right, so we're gonna roll with this shaky head a little bit. I mean, not shaky head, this wacky rig a little bit going into these coves. What's going on, Frisco? Frisco tuned in just in time. I just put the crankbait down and picked up my the wacky rig, Frisco, so I can do a little bit of dangling. I know how much you love that dangling. Let me see. Kevin Two Fishes says calling for 30 to 45 mile per hour winds with strong to severe. And okay, wow, storms in the evening and snow. Wait a minute, where are you at to be mentioning snow? Do you see the weather here? It is nice and sunny. Where's the sun at? The sun is up there blazing. The sun is out here hanging out with me today. What's going on, Stacia? Stacia, I hope I'm saying that right. Says you are in Mississippi. Good to have you in the chat. Kevin Two Fishes says Northern Indiana. Okay. What's going on, Clementine? Back in the chat once again, says good morning from Australia. No fish in the boat yet. We're just getting started. Everybody that is just tuning in, we're just getting things rolling. Started out with a crankbait, then decided to just kind of fish a little slow around some of these laydowns. And for those that don't know, when I say laydowns, I'm referring to whenever you have trees, like how you see these trees coming into the water. Instead of standing up, they're laying down into the water. City Man says shout out from Ohio. Yeah, we're nationwide and worldwide. Frisco says supposed to be blowing Friday for the Classic, but Trey McKinney already got his rough water practice. If you saw, you know. Was that him that was at the ramp and was getting beat up trying to put the boat on the trailer? I saw the video, but I did not see who that was that was happening to. All right, guys, had to take a quick phone call, but I'm back. All right, let's see. We have Life with Levi tuning in. Good to see you back in the chat. Oh, okay, so that was Trey McKinney. I didn't know that. Popping big shots. What you know about Diddy? What's going on over there? What's going on over there? All right, appreciate that. Let's see. Frisco says he should have used one of the other protected ramps, but he had to go to where the fish were biting. He was like, "Hey, this is the ramp where they're biting at." But yeah, that was kind of rough. That was kind of rough. I'm surprised nobody was helping him though. Frisco said, yeah, he did have a driver, but yeah, that driver was just watching. Did the driver get out and help him? The clip that I saw, I didn't see anybody helping him, but obviously there was somebody filming. All right, let's go ahead and hop back on this crankbait. Kevin Two Fish said it was kind of rough. He said, I would have pissed myself almost sinking $100,000 boat. Well, I mean, they have insurance. I'm pretty sure that wasn't a big concern for him. They have insurance and they have those sponsors and stuff. So somebody would have took care of him. Levi says Upshaw did a video about it. Okay. They were like, nah, partner, you on your own with that one. What's going on, Fly Stream Fishing? Yes, sir. We are at Lake Lanier once again. We're gonna run 2 or 3 coves, looking for that shallow water bite again. See if it's still active. See if it's still working. See if we can get another 3-pounder to the boat. Fly Stream Fishing says, I just got home from Lanier. I caught my PB spotted bass, a 3-pounder on a Spro jerkbait. All right, well, congratulations on that. Yeah, I heard that they're biting jerkbaits pretty good right now, too. What's going on, Ray Love? Says, MoneyBass about to catch a biggin. We'll see. We'll see. Look at these laydowns right here, guys. Throw a crankbait through there first. Then I'll slow it down with throwing that wacky rig in there again. Now, there are pine cones over there, guys. You know I don't... Oh, my goodness, guys. Did we get him? We got something. Yeah, we got him, guys. We got him. But it must not be a big one at all. It is not. You won't believe what we have. Look what we got, guys. Do you see what we got? I was like, we got something. I don't know what it is, but we got something. Look at that. I felt a little, I felt a little bitty tappy tap. Do you see this? What is this fish doing? Putting this little bitty mouthpiece on my crankbait. Let's see if I can get him off without him. There we go. Do you see that right there, guys? Do you see that? It kind of reminds me of something. Not really, not really. I felt a little tappy tap. So we do have a sign of life. Frisco says, well, at least you got a tug. Terry Hall said, that's the kind of fish I catch. Oh, man. I felt a little bitty tappy tap. Flash Stream Fishing said, those red-breast sunfish are the most ambitious fish ever. It was like, oh, yeah, I can do it. I think I can do it. I can eat him. I know my mouth is small, but I'm still going to take a bite at it. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're doing this thing we call Bass for Cash. I am out here on a weekly basis, guys. As you see on the title of this video, there is currently $100 up for grabs. All you have to do is be a subscriber to the channel. Oh, shoot, guys. I knew that was going to happen. Can you see what I did? Let's see if you guys can see that. Can you see my bait over there dangling? Let's see. Can you guys see it? Let's see if I can get it loose. Or am I going to have to go over there and get it, guys? There we go. I got it. Guess that's what I get for trying to do a overhand cast into that. Flash Stream Fishing says, I did that today. Terry said, watch out for those trees. Yeah, the wind is kind of blowing, so I have to angle my cast a little different. Kevin Two Fishes says, no fish in those trees. You never know. You never know. Keep on cranking, guys. One of these days when I get out here a little earlier, what I wanted to start doing is catching some of these fish on top water baits. So when I come out here a little earlier, that's what we'll do. I'll throw stuff like that buzz jet that I just showed you guys. Greg said you need a hunting license for that tree fishing. Flystream Fisher says, how do you like that Boy Ducket spinning rod? My spinning rod broke the other day and I've been looking for a new one. It works pretty good for me. I mean, the bendation, it definitely does happen. But yeah, so on my shaky head, right now that's a 7-1 medium. I think that's that new Jacob Wheeler Select rod. I think those are out now. And then, or the other one that I use is that Micro Magic. I think it's a 7-foot. Medium heavy is another one that I like. Yeah, man, check them out, see what you think. Man, I need another one on this crankbait. Let's try throwing right down the center. So this crankbait that I have will go 9 to 14 feet. And I'm currently sitting in 9 feet of water. So I'm throwing this thing up very shallow and letting it kind of run across the bottom. And that's why I'm getting hung up in these leaves and stuff like that. Come on. Let's make one more cast over there. Bring it right by that tree. Shout out to Texas Newt. I see you in the chat. Drew V says, where's the bendation? The bendation is on standby. All right, I think we might be in the right place, guys. So we have the wind blowing straight into this cove that I'm in. So this kind of like a secondary point back here. That wind is blowing right up to it. So we're gonna fish down the center of this cove in just a second. We're gonna keep cranking to the back of this cove so that way I can kind of reposition the boat and so that we're facing into the wind. So you guys still able to hear me okay and see me okay? Just drop a 1 in the chat for me if you can still hear me okay and see me okay, guys. Appreciate that, Texas Newt. Can you guys hear that wind? The wind is starting to pick up in here. Drew said 0.5. What's going on, Rory? Good to see you in the chat. Oh yeah, that wind is howling a little bit. All right, let's change it up just a minute. Looks like I might see a little something. You guys know what I say. If you see something, say something. And I see something. So we're gonna change it up just for a quick second. Put a little bit of stank on it. Let's see if I can get their attention. All right, let's see. All right, so does anybody have any plans for this coming weekend? What does Roy say? He says, they say that the wind is your friend. I say it does have its limits. That is true. So it's actually not blowing too bad right now. It may sound that way for you guys because now I'm facing into the wind and it's blowing directly into me. But these wind-blown banks should be a good place for these fish to be kind of setting up on. Let's see. What's going on? 5280 back in the chat. Says you're packing and about to head back to Oklahoma, huh? All right, well, safe travels. Kevin Two Fishes said he's headed to New York. So you're going to be up there hanging out with the burning season? The burning season is up there in New York, too. I was trying to get us to come up there and do some of that smallmouth fishing. Water temps out here about 54 degrees right now. All right, in the chat, are you guys still able to hear me okay and see me okay? Just drop another quick 1 in there for me. Trying out some new areas today. So we never know, we never know. Appreciate that 5280 in Frisco. All right, let's keep on moving, guys. Let's keep on cranking. Drew says this is 0.75. I can't give you a full 1. Appreciate that, Roy. Kevin Two Fishes says, where's he located? I am not sure. I mean, he's told me, he's put it in the chat a few times, but I cannot remember. Ronnie says, slow it down. Slow it down a little bit. You gotta finesse him. You gotta smooth talk him. So right now, the game plan is to cover some water till we get to a productive area. And the way that I'll know it's a productive area, if I get a little tappy tap. Frisco said it doesn't take much for him to go to dangling mode. Roy says, I'm going to stop by the Bass Pro Shops for a little bit. I'll try and get out on the lake. Okay, all right, so you're going to head out to the lake today? 5280 says, the wind is your friend. That is true in a lot of occasions. All right. Let's get back into dangling mode real quick. I see some bait fish out here. Texas Noob said, what's the water temp? The water temp is sitting at a nice and easy 54, about 55 degrees. We're sitting in about 12 feet of water right now. 5280 said, Bass Pro Shop sounds right about now. What's going on? We have Lanier Kayak Bass Fishing tuning in. Says, the bass are nibbling on Lanier, folks. Get on out and fish. That's right. Once you find those productive areas, guys, you can get out here and have some fun right now. But you remember, your partner MoneyBass, I'm always out here for a short time, not a long time. So I got to get out here and kind of cover water fast and see if I can find where I need to be with the quickness. Oh yeah, Lanier Kayak Bass Fishing, you like those little swim baits. Yeah, I normally throw them on a fish head spin or something like that. Again, want to give a big shout out to FishXLive.com. Make sure you guys go and check that out. If you are into tournament fishing, whether you fish from a kayak, from the bank, from a boat, bass tournaments, crappie tournaments, catfish tournaments, whatever your style of fishing is, that app will allow you to host and facilitate your live tournaments, live leaderboards, live streaming, live chat, all of that stuff right there at your fingertips. Make your tournament look kind of like the pros, like the Bassmaster guys. Have your live weigh-in so your family and friends can watch. All right, so there are some fish in this cove, but the thing about it is, just because the fish are there, if they're not biting, it's not going to do me any good. So we're going to have to keep on moving in just a second. So we'll probably fish this cove out right here, and then I'm going to go into another cove. But man, this one right here is lovely. The way that the wind is kind of blowing back into it and everything. Maskoff says, I heard you were selling your boat and getting an icon. And I heard that Maskoff was going to be cutting me a check to allow me to get that icon. So I'm just waiting on you, buddy. I'm just waiting on the check to arrive. Mascot said, oh, I got to give the check. Never mind. Never mind. That wasn't real. Frisco says, do you see any shaded bank lines? I sure do. That's what we're heading towards right now. So we're gonna fish that area real quick. So a shaded bank line is that right there. Kind of towards the back of this cove. So we'll see if there's any action back there. If not, we're just gonna pack up and run to the next cove. Ronnie says, try bright color, a deep diver. David says, are we fishing or catching today? Good afternoon. What's going on, David? Good to have you back in the chat. So today, right now, we're casting. We're casting and fishing right now at the moment. I think we've been out here for what, about 40 minutes or so, guys. And like I said, we're gonna be out here for a good time, not a long time. See if we can get one or two fish to the boat real quick and see if anybody wants to walk away with any of this cash for these bass today. We're doing this thing called Bass for Cash. I come out here on a weekly basis, get out here, have some conversation and fishing with the guys and gals in the chat, see how everybody is doing. And at the same time, see if we can get a fish or two to the boat. And if you are a subscriber to the channel and you can guess the exact weight of the fish that is brought to the boat, just like that, quick and easy, you can walk away with a nice little cash payout, all right? I wanted to try this crankbait out a little bit today, but it isn't. It isn't doing its job. What's going on, Kimberly? Tuning in. Good to have you back in the chat. All right, not getting any action back here, so we're gonna keep on rolling. Let's just go ahead and pack up and roll to the next cove, guys. Ronnie says, I win 0. You guessed the weight of the no fish, right? Dave said, asking for a friend. Will slowing down your retrieve help a little bit? Kimberly says, I come and go, so you know. But I know you're enjoying this beautiful day with all these beautiful bass. That's right. All right, Kimberly, this is a 2020. David said, go faster. Oh, wait a minute. Who is that? Ronnie says, look to your right. You see that javelin? I did see a boat out to my right. Was that you out there, Ronnie? Coming up towards that island? Let me give you a quick rundown, Kimberly. So it's a Nitro Z20. Nitro Z20. On the back, I'm running a Mercury Pro XS 4-stroke, 250 horsepower motor. I have 2 shallow water talons on the back here. The wind is starting to pick up out here. We're gonna ease to the back of this cove. Kimberly says, that wind would make me want to throw my pole down. Oh yeah, that wind is starting to get a little brutal. But we're out here for a good time, not a long time, so it's not that bad. It's not too bad. What's going on, Teresa? Good to have you in the chat. says, have you caught anything yet? I have not caught anything yet. I think we're coming up on about, what, 45 minutes or so we've been out here on the lake. Haven't found anything productive yet. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Teresa, you said, have I caught anything yet? I forgot, I did. I think I caught a little brim. That is all that has been caught so far. So did I catch anything? Yes, I did. But did I catch what I was after? No, I did not. The burning season, what's going on? We have somebody headed your way, burning season. What part of, you said you're from New York, right? What part of New York are you in? I think it's Kevin Two Fishes is headed your way. Said he wants to come over there and catch some of those smallmouth. Says, hey man, just throw a spoon out there. Burning season says, I'm right in the middle. I'm 1.5 hours from every lake in the state. Oneida Lake, okay. I've heard of that before. I'm not sure if Kevin Two Fishes is still in the chat. I'm not sure if he took off. He may have mentioned where he was headed to. I don't know if anybody caught it. Drew said Ronnie's gonna get DQ'd. Is Ronnie putting his guess in way too early? Ronnie said, hey man, I need to be on the back of the boat. yeah, I know they got some big largemouth up there too, hanging out with those smallies. Sometimes they're kind of hanging out together, right? Drew says, guess the fishes wait to win a free trip. All right, Burning Season said, maybe take a family trip to Lake Oneida. That wind again. Man, now the wind is picking up big time. All right, let's get back to cranking. We're gonna crank out the rest of this cove real quick. And then we're gonna head over to the next cove over. The mission for today is to just hunt these shallow water fish if we can find them. Looks like I may need to change this one out and go back to my tried and true what's been working out here. I just wanted to try something a little different today to see if it would work. But it's getting no action. So let's go ahead and change this one back out. All right, in the chat, Can you guys still hear me okay and see me okay? We're kind of getting into the back of these coves where there's a bunch of trees and stuff like that, so I'm not really sure. Drew says, off to baseball practice. Good luck to you out there. Be safe. All right, really appreciate you for tuning in. We'll be back again. We'll be back again. All right, so we just need to stay back and do some fan casting now, guys. Frisco said, where's that chartreuse and black square bill? I have it in there hiding. It's hid away right now. What's going on, Ronnie? Ronnie says, I'll catch it with you next time, my brother. Travel. Let me see. Travel to the east. All right. Bernie Caesar says, yo, if you come up, bring one of them Southern girls, preferably one with a boat and lots of money. They don't have those up there in New York. They should have them up there in New York for you too, right? I just went ahead and put my spot lock on so we can just come back here and kind of fan cast around in this cove. All right, Texas Snoop, when was the last time that you went fishing? When was the last time that you went fishing? Okay, yeah. So how did you do on Saturday? Remember, somebody said they caught a 25 fish or something like that. Who was that? How did you do out on the lake on Saturday? Oh, you said, bro, it was ugly. Oh, no. What lake was this? I thought you were going to say you were killing it. What lake were you on again? Please don't say it was Lake Fork. Not one bite. Uh-oh. All right, so Frisco was out on Saturday too. How did you do, Frisco? And what lake were you guys on? What if you were both on the same lake? Because I know both of you are in Texas. Okay, I haven't heard of that one before. Okay, you said it was a new lake. Oh, Frisco lost a $330 setup. That's pretty bad. All right, Frisco was fishing Cedar Creek. Texas Newt said people were catching them, but one of those people just wasn't me. Well, I'm pretty sure we all know that feeling. I'm gonna make 2 slow retrieve casts with this wacky rig because I know there are some fish back here shallow. We'll see if we can get one to the boat. Texas Newt says, I hate that lake. How far are you from Lake Fork? Uh-oh, Frisco says weather forecast was clear until we woke up to lightning and rain. Yeah, that kind of changes your plans for the day sometimes. All right, let's make one more cast over in this cove, and then we're gonna head to the next one. Texas Noob says Possum Kingdom Lake for Texas Bass Nation. Is that a tournament that's coming up for you? Is that what that is? Burning Season says, do you think forward-facing sonar gets better and easier? More people using it. Do you think it'll almost be impossible to catch fish without it? I don't think so. I mean, I think if you still go fishing the same way that you used to, that you'll still be able to catch fish. I mean, that's just what I think. I think if you were to have a tournament, like even on this lake, and they've done it before on Lake Lanier, if you have a tournament with no forward-facing sonar, I'm pretty sure people will still come in with 20-something pounds on this lake. I mean, I know if I can come out here with the, I come out here a lot, but I don't spend a lot of time while I'm out here. So I don't come out here pre-fish, going around finding where those bigger fish are at like that on a regular basis, but there are guys that do. So those guys, when they fish these tournaments out here, they can come out here without forward-facing sonar and still find those bigger fish. I mean, if I can come out in an hour and a half, 2 hours and catch 1 or 2 3 to 4 pound fish like that, I know those guys can come up and just run to certain areas where they already know those caliber of fish are going to be and pretty much get them to the boat. Texas Noob says you will always be able to catch fish without. Those MPFL pros do it. Jason Christie just won it. Okay. Yeah, so I kind of agree with that. The Burning Season says, I think after years of the lakes getting pounded, you'll almost need it. I don't know. I don't think so. And I know that whenever you talk about forward-facing sonar, there are multiple techniques within forward-facing sonar. So forward-facing sonar is just another way of another, as you know, tool out on the water. Some people use forward-facing sonar, and when they say that, they're referring specifically to someone who takes a jig head minnow and goes out and focuses on catching one fish at a time. Like basically they're just moving around targeting individual fish. Some people use forward-facing sonar and they go out and they target brush piles, which to me is a completely different style of fishing, because you can use that same forward-facing sonar in water that is 5 to 10 feet of water and just locate and fish brush piles with it. So that's two different techniques right there, two different techniques alone. Some people use it and they'll still go and fish docks. Now, let's say if that person with forward-facing sonar is going out and there are 50 docks to choose from, that person with forward-facing sonar, they will save time because they can actually see which ones to spend a little bit more time on. But if somebody else goes out and they say they fish all 50 docks, then they have still fished the same dock that the person with forward-facing sonar has fished. So they have that same opportunity, although it may take them a lot longer because they're not targeting those specific docks. Unless that same person that is not using forward-facing sonar has gone out and put in the time and work, and they have already scanned it using side scan or sonar, and they have already found those same brush piles. So that way they can still cut time out with that. So forward-facing sonar is another way to allow people to have better time management, just depending on what techniques you're using. What are you guys saying in the chat? Texas Newt says exactly. Okay. All right. Texas Newt said forward-facing sonar can't help you with the Carolina rig. See, I think it can. I think it can still help you. And man, I kind of want to go to an area and show you guys something. So let's say that you're using forward-facing sonar and you're just fishing isolated rocks. Let's say you have scanned with side scan and sonar and you have found isolated areas, like isolated patches of rocks, right? And let's say you have found 10 of those, and that is what you plan to fish for a tournament, right? Now, without forward-facing sonar, you still know the patches of rocks and stuff like that are there. So with your waypoint management, with goodness, I forgot what it's called, the little arrow that's on your unit that'll point towards where your arrow is pointing on your trolling motor. You can still make accurate casts, right? Now, if you bring into play with that same two boats side by side, they're casting to the same area, but one person has forward-facing sonar. You can actually see the fish moving along the bottom in those rocks. So now you can take that Carolina rig and cast it out there, and you are still being more efficient with your cast than the person who doesn't have it. All right, the Burning Season said forward-facing sonar helps you sight fish. How do you think Scott Barton set the record in the open? There we go. I agree. Frisco says, before I had forward-facing sonar, I was following behind a boat using forward-facing sonar on docks and caught them after they didn't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with that person too, because some people, they may fish it too fast. They may see the fish, get frustrated, and not be able to catch them. Well, if the fish aren't biting, then they're just not going to catch them anyway. So they get frustrated. They start fishing a little fast. So it really just depends on the individual person and their skill set with forward-facing sonar. But I think there's a lot of different elements to it. But oh my goodness, guys. I was casting in the wrong direction. The fish are sitting right here in front of me. Look, let me show you guys. So right there, can you see that dot right there? So there's a fish sitting right out there at 50 feet. Let's see if I'll be able to pop him. All right, now it's at 60 feet. It moved back towards the bank. Come on, Leaf, get off of there. I see you, Frisco. Bernstein says there's definitely a lot of clowns out there that can't catch fish without forward-facing sonar. Frisco says, but you won't catch it. Frisco said, yeah, you see it, but you won't catch it. You're right. It didn't bite. It kept on moving. It's gone now, but I'll cast over there a few more times. Let's just see. Now, there was an area I was fishing the last time that I had just got to right before I ended the stream. And it looked like it was going to be a good area coming up. So once I leave from here, we'll go over to that next little area. Texas Noob says, Frisco, we will be at Cedar Creek in August for a club night tournament. Okay. When you fish those night tournaments, what time does your night tournament start and end? Terry Hall says, man, I left and came back. Do you have any fish yet? No, sir, nothing yet. We're about to pack up and run to another location. Says, hey man, I'm not doing no night tournament. I'm gonna be sleeping. All right, let's run to the next cove, guys. Just keep it moving. So do we have anybody in the chat that is new to the channel? If this is your first time tuning in or checking out the channel, type the word new in the chat. I always like to see who we have tuning in. Give you a proper introduction and welcome to the channel. All right, let's move to the next cove. Go Adventure, Go Explore says, I heard the docks were hot. I have too. Maybe we'll go and fish docks next time. Let you guys check that out. But yeah, definitely, if we get into the right cove, there's some coves in here that have some deep water docks. So I'm pretty sure those will be productive. I just didn't really feel like making a run today. Because like I said, we're out here for a good time, not a long time. Texas who said, hey man, what's up with your graph situation? So the 10-inch screen that I normally have right here, I moved it up front. And the 12-inch screen that I normally have up front is sitting right here. I just don't necessarily need to use them all the time. So I disconnect them, connect them. Frisco said, hey, man, he low budget. He riding with a unit, just riding shotgun. That's right. Frosty Mouth said, what's up? I haven't seen you live for a long time. We've been going live quite a few times recently. Things haven't changed. Maybe I wonder if it's possible that the notifications may not be going out the same as they were before. Because I noticed that there are a lot of people that would normally be in the chat that I haven't seen for a while. So it's possible something's going on with the notifications. Frisco said the wind is louder than you. Oh yeah, that wind is, it's a little brutal out here right now. So we're gonna move to the back of this cove. Hopefully when I get to the back of the cove, it'll be a little different. Oh, why I gotta be like that, burning season? Said I got shadow band. I need to get some fish to get my numbers back right on burning season. You said I can catch enough content in 3 days for 3 years if I come to New York, huh? Chef Boy said, how many fish? Does anybody in the chat know how many fish have been brought to the boat today? Does anybody know in the chat how many fish have been brought to the boat today? And if you get the number wrong, you owe me $1. Does anybody know how many fish have been brought to the boat today? And if your guess is wrong, then you owe me $1. How about that? All right, I see Frisco put a guess in there. Anybody else? Burning season says the same amount that came in my boat, and my boat is on the trailer. All right, anybody else? Anybody else want to take a guess? Is that it? Only 2 guesses? Only 2 guesses? Texas Nuke says, I came in late, or I would jump in. All right, looks like there's only 2 guesses in the chat. In the chat, this was the question. Does anybody know how many fish? Let's see, what was Chef Boy's question? He said, how many fish? All right, I guess there's no more guesses. So the correct answer is 1. The correct answer is 1. It may not have been the one that I wanted, but it was still a fish. If so, Frisco was right. He said I caught a ish. He said 1-ish. 1-ish. It was a fish and not a fish at the same time. Texas Nuke said, all right, Texas Nuke, what is your guess? What do you think I caught it on? Rory knew. Rory came in, he knew it. All right, so Texas Nuke, what do you think? Texas Nuke said a guppy. All right, so Texas Nuke, what do you think I caught it on? A shaky head? Any other guesses as to what I caught the little brim on? Any other guesses? All right, yeah, next time, guys, we're going to have to go and fish some docks. But we're still going to go ahead and fish down to the back of these. There's 2 coves back here in the back, so we're going to head back there. Frisco said a medium diver. Anybody else? Any other guesses? What did I catch the 1 fish on today? All right, so the answer is a crankbait. I caught that little brim on a crankbait. All right, let's get back to moving again. Yep, that's right, that sexy shad crankbait. Get back to doing some cranking. Yeah, that idiot around that corner. Yeah, I tried it. We're gonna head on to the back of these coves. So there's some rocks back here and there's a bunch of laydowns. So we're just gonna crank our way back through that and see what happens back here. What's going on, Blaster? It says, how much bendation did I miss? I I have been fixing a busted water hose on my car. So we had some, actually, it didn't even bend. What I caught so far, it did not even bend. It just wiggled a little bit. All right. Now we're getting back into the cove, some calmer water back here. What's going on, Erickson? So do we have any new viewers to the channel? Anybody that's here for the first time? So Erickson says, hey, I'm new. Welcome to the channel. Erickson said, you catch some fish? I haven't caught some fish. I caught a fish, and it wasn't the species that I was looking for. But we're still rolling. We still have a few more minutes on the clock. Shipboy says, man, I thought that nap was going to bring in some fish. Not today. So we might be doing another live Battle of the Anglers, guys. Who watched the last Battle of the Anglers that took place on Logan Martin? Who saw that last one? Ashton said, you got the skunk out of the way. I don't know. I don't even know if that counts. I don't even know if what I caught even counts. All right, so if we do another Battle of the Anglers, Would you guys want to see it on Lake Lanier, Lake Sinclair, or Logan Martin? What lake would you guys want to see another Battle of the Anglers on? The burner season says Chicken Hawk's net hasn't been used in so long it has dry rot. Oh no. Shout out to Donald Brown, says new to the channel. Donald. You know your picture is there, right, Donald? I can see you. Frisco says do it on Lake Fork. So we are out here on the hunt for spotted bass and largemouth bass. Those are the two species that we're targeting out here. And what I caught was a brim. What's going on, C219 Troll? Good to see you back in the chat. Ashton says only the top 3 get screen time. Well, when we do Battle of the Anglers, you see everybody. Because there will be about anywhere from 4. I think the most we've done at one time was 8. But generally, I like to keep it around 5 or 6 guys. Texas Noob says, which lake has both species? So so Lake Lanier is primarily going to be spotted bass, but there are largemouth bass in here. Has some pretty good sized largemouth bass. You guys have seen me catch them on the lives before. Lake Sinclair has spotted bass and largemouth, but you are going to see more largemouth on that lake. And then what was the other lake I said? Logan Martin is going to be a mixture of both. But I caught some pretty nice sized largemouth the last time we were there. Chipboy said a brim. We're still pulling up some of this grass. So we're trying to get to an area that doesn't have the grass, but has the fish on it that we need. Burn Season says, when I get back from Murray, I'll have to join you live one day and do a side-by-side. So what I am putting together, guys, is I'm going to have something to where the members of the channel will be able to do a live. So I will have you guys live on the screen. Uh-oh, what is that right there? I see something. I see something. Let me back off of this area. But yeah, so I will have you guys in different states and everybody will be up on the same screen. So that way we can see you guys go ahead and put your skills to work. Texas Nuke says Logan Martin is his vote. Hawk was always talking about Logan Martin. Do you know how many times I have beat Chicken Hawk on Logan Martin? Well, I mean, I've beat him every time we go to Logan Martin. But do you know how many times that he has tried to fish against me on Logan Martin? He'll probably want a different lake next time. I think he's been stomped out too many times on Logan Martin, so we probably wouldn't even go there anymore. I mean, we'll be going back again, but that's not going to be Chicken Hawk's vote anymore. His feelings has been hurt too many times on that lake. Burn Season says, what mic? There is no mic. That's why the wind is so loud right now. I'm not using my headset or anything. All right, so I see some fish over there just kind of hanging out. So let's go ahead and fish it extra slow with a wacky rig and see what they think about that. All right, guys, we have 9 minutes left on the clock. 9 minutes on the clock. Texas Noop says his chest has been deflated after that last loss. Believe it or not, Texas Noop, you are incorrect. Chicken Hawk is still talking about how well he did, even though he was in last place. He's basically his argument now. His argument is that if it was only on Sunday, he would have won. That he caught his fish on Sunday. Bernstein says, how are you streaming straight from the phone? Yes, sir. So basically, that's what I was explaining to a few people have reached out to me about using FishXLive to run and host their tournaments. The way that it is set up, all that the participants will need is a phone and a headset. So if you are a part of a tournament organization, a bass club, catfish club, crappie fishing club, striper club, whatever type of club that you're in, if you want to run and host live tournaments, you can do it all on FishXLive, guys. So FishXLive, you can go there now and download. I think there's like a 7-day trial or something like that, but you can go ahead and download it and just set up a tournament. Just kind of go through, play with the settings and things like that. So that way you can see, maybe it's something that the guys and gals in your club will have fun fishing that style of tournament. It's just a different, format. And pretty much everybody that has been fishing these lives with us, once they fish the lives with us and try to go back to fishing tournaments the other way, it's just not as much fun. Fishmaster 48 said, did you catch one? Yeah, I caught one all right. Oh yeah, Texas Noop saying when Chicken Hawk had to say whipstick. That was very funny. That was so funny. I didn't think he was gonna do it. But you guys see that Chicken Hawk takes his whoopings and still honors his word. Whipstick said, you gotta say my name. Texas Noop said, so he was pre-fishing on Saturday for Sunday. He pre-fished on Friday and Saturday. And finally, I think that's the most fish Chicken Hawk has caught in one day. I think he had 4 fish. Fishmaster says, show us the fish. You don't want to see the fish that I caught today. But I already threw it back. It was a little brim. Blaster said that hurt Chicken Hawk to his soul. His soul was hurting when he had to say whipstick. We have 6 minutes on the clock. Enough time to fish maybe 2 or 3 more laydowns, guys. So the other day when we were out, you guys saw that these fish were on these laydowns, but I was in a different part of the lake. The conditions were kind of the same, but just a different location, and it was working. So things kind of changed up a little bit. But when we come out here next time, what we'll do is we're gonna go fish some dock. Somebody mentioned that they wanted to see some dock fishing. So we're going to do that. We'll probably fish it with a Nico rig or a wacky rig. Tuning in, checking in to see what's going on. Blaster said, what you call me? Man, And this is a nice little group of trees right here. You got 1, 2, 3 of them all side by side. Nothing on that first one. Let's hit this third one next. Right back there. Oh man, it would go over the branch. Let's see if I can get it off of there without pulling it out of the spot. And I can't. So let's flip it over that tree and get it back. Three Y said, man, he sucks at fishing. He can't catch a thing. So yeah, does anybody else have any votes? So far, Texas Noop said, what did you say? Logan Martin? So Whipstick, we got a fish to the boat. But guess what it was? Can you take a guess? What kind of fish do you think we got to the boat? It did not count. He said a catfish. Nope, wasn't a catfish. Fishmaster says a trout. It wasn't a trout. 3Y says a pike. Nope, it wasn't a pike. Fishmaster says a brown trout. It wasn't a brown trout. Whipstick said it's a crappie. Nope, it wasn't a crappie. If you guys know what it was, don't put it in there. Let's just see what people think. Ralph says it was a goby. Ashton says, let me see, let last place decide. Well, okay, so what Ashton is saying is let the person who came in last place decide what lake we fish the next Battle of the Anglers with. We can do that, Ashton, but the issue with that is that Chicken Hawk came in last place. And Chicken Hawk is the one who pretty much picks the lakes. He picks the lakes that he thinks he's going to win on and still loses every single time. All right, Whipstick, what we were talking about is, okay, let me see. Oh, so it was a brim, guys. It was a brim. But Whipstick, so what we were asked, the question of the day is, what lake should we do the next Battle of the Anglers on? What lake would you want to do it on? 3Y says, MoneyBass, it's Florida fishing. Do you remember me? I believe so. I believe I do. Oh, Ralph said a bluegill. Okay. Or a brim. So Whipstick, what lake do you want to do the next Battle of the Anglers on? We were talking about Lanier. We were talking about Sinclair, Logan Martin. Another one that we had tossed out there was Chickamauga. Jody says, do it on Lake Lanier. You might as well do it on Lanier. All right, guys, it is 5 o'clock. I have to head on out because I have someplace I need to be when I need to be there. But yeah, you guys think about that. Let me know, what lake do you want to do the next Battle of the Anglers on? And of course, whenever we do Battle of the Anglers, we slide in some bass for cash so that you guys can kind of participate and have some fun with that. And also, the other thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that I am going to be doing a subscriber tournament where I will be hosting that tournament, but I will set it up and allow you guys to go ahead and hop in, and I will bring you up on the screen. I really want to see some of you Texas guys out there catching some of those big fish. So we're gonna get that set up, and so I'll be announcing that whenever we get it set up so you guys can do that. And it will probably be limited to either 8 or 9 guys. 8 or 9 guys. I'll let you guys enter and everything, and then I'll bring you guys up on the screen, and we'll just have some fun with it. Maybe me and Chicken Hawk will do the hosting while you guys do the fishing, and we'll see which one of those states can bring in some good fish, whether you bring in the numbers or the big fish. So we're gonna have some fun with it. The burning season says, put me on. He says, I'll bury the Texas guys. Oh my goodness. We have a challenge, guys. All right, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. So that is definitely something that is going to be in the works, all right? So we're going to see which state has the biggest fish, all right? So that's what we're going to do. Oh, Texas New said, hey, slow down, burning season. Yeah, I mean, because, yeah, right now I'm thinking the Texas guys are going to be having some of the biggest fish. But, yeah, I want you guys to keep that in mind. Jody says, MoneyBass versus Chicken Hawk in a boxing match. Just playing. Hey, man. All right, so yeah, really appreciate you guys for tuning in. I am heading out, but keep that in mind. If you are interested, go into the description area and send me an email if you are interested in participating in that. Like I said, I'm going to limit it probably to 8 participants, and then me and Chicken Hawk will be doing the commentating for it. So it'll be all in fun, guys, is what it'll be. All right, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. Want to give a big shout out to FishXLive. All right, make sure you guys go and check out FishXLive. That is what we are going to use to run that tournament that I'm telling you guys about. Also want to give a big shout out to, so the email is MoneyBass404@gmail.com. If you look in the description of the video, my contact information is in there, but it is MoneyBass404@gmail.com. All right, guys. All right, so I really appreciate you. I will see you guys on the next live stream.